Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to A Better World with Adrienne. Thank you for pressing play. Thank you for being here. Thank you for giving your most valuable resource, your time, energy, and attention to this podcast. I'm so excited to be here with you in the final installment of the four-part series, Quadrant Quotient, where I'm going deep into the four quadrants of the work we do here in New Earth Elite, in building a better world together, in channeling our missions and the ceremonies of our businesses and our relationships and the you know, alchemical, visceral process we're each in as stewards operating at high voltage, at full voltage, and being Olympic athletes for the creator in this important time. Like, it is powerful, and this series has been powerful. I'm excited to share today's episode and welcome to the space. For those of you that want to go deeper into this work, I am enrolling clients into one-on-one mentorship. So I am extremely dialed on one-on-one Lux mentorship. This is concierge bespoke spaces designed for you in healing knowledge and skill, where we go deep into the four quadrants and you 100x your soul mission, fusing high performance with spiritual mastery. So, this is the space that has never existed where your ambition and your deep alchemical healing and relationship with the creator are not only coexisting, they rely on one another. Like, it's the only way we are building a better world is the fusion of both. Deep success, ambition, relentless excellence, 1% of the 1%, and the safe, potent space where we get to the root of the physical and spiritual, and you gain mastery in the skill sets in the unseen realm. Literally unmatched. So amazing. We do astrology, we do shamanic, holotropic breathwork journeys for nervous system reset. We're going deep into holy habits, your health, your wealth, your happiness, your freedom, all of it. So if you are interested in working with me one-on-one, go to the link in the show notes and apply. All of my one-on-one mentorship, I prioritize in-person experiences with you. And something special going on in summer of 2026, that is when this episode is dropping, you can come to France, either Paris or the south of France, and meet me for a VIP day or a VIP immersion. Whether you want to do a long-term mentorship container, which I recommend if you want the deepest transformation, or you want that jolt, that pattern interrupt of like a 1 day or like 3 day immersion in person. How you can do all of this with me, it's all on the same application. You're going to go to the application in the show notes. You're going to spill your heart in there. And then when I receive it, I will be in touch. If we're an aligned fit, I will invite you into a space. So if that is you, the link to the show notes, the link is in the show notes to apply. Alrighty, Rue. Quadrant quotient, free air elemental. Okay, so some context is that this is the fourth installment in a four-part series, Quadrant Quotient. It's where I'm sharing the quotient, the data, the equation, the architecture of each quadrant inside New Earth Elite, and they each build on top of one another, and they are each connected with one of the four elements on our plane. So, in this work together, in birthing a better world, we're basically channeling new solutions, new paradigms, new realities, dreams. We're channeling it all through the unseen and pulling it into the seen with precision. Okay? If you come from a high performance background, you might have an allergy to the word manifestation. Okay? I know I did because I was like, "Oh, that shit lazy," and your girl not lazy. And it wasn't until I realized that I was already manifesting, and I reverse engineered it when I discovered a love of manifestation is like, if you're a powerful manifester, you take immense action that most people will never take. So there's a lot of there's a lot of charlatans, there's a lot of like TikTok and Instagram has really given a lot of people a mic, which has been cool. It also has given a mic to people that have no idea what they're talking about, people that don't actually create real results, and people that just say things that are not true and then people believe them. So forget everything you've heard about manifestation. If you actually want to learn the mechanics of the universe, keep listening to this episode. If you want to go deep, 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 hire me and let's go deep in one-on-one mentorship. So it really is this manifestation, but with precision, more precision, because with astrology we literally can study divine timing and like, oh, these are the themes being activated in the collective. These are the themes activated in my chart, the chart of my marriage, the chart of my business, the chart of my health, like all of these things. Like I can study literally the timing and then strike when the iron's hot, and then I create 100x return on my investment of my time, energy, money, attention, resource, all the things. So it's impacting the people. All of this is like, why do the four quadrants matter? I think is a question that I feel called to answer. I didn't plan on saying that, but it's like the four quadrants matter because it's important for you to understand the ecosystem that we are operating in inside New Earth Elite, why it matters, what health, wealth, happy, healthy, wealthy, happy, and free. These are the four quadrants, right? Health, everybody knows health matters. Everybody knows wealth matters. Everybody knows happiness matters. Everybody knows freedom matters, right? Rare is the soul that makes common sense common practice. And that's what we do in New Earth Elite. And then we turn that dial all the way up and we're like, absolutely fucking not. I am not here to for mediocrity. Mediocrity is literally evil. It is literally the opposite vibration of creator. I am here for greatness. I am here for excellence, not from a place of self-loathing, not from a place of self-hate, which a lot of people, yours truly included, have created insane success from places of fear. And there's always a ceiling on that success. There's always a limit on that success because it comes from a rotting root. When you shift and you're like, I have reverence for the one life I have to live. I have reverence for the fact that I'm here for big shit. I have a dream. You likely have been demonized for how much you quote unquote work. People that demonize your work have not found their purpose. They don't understand that it's your life's work. They don't understand it's your art. They don't understand it's literally why you wake up in the morning. You're like, holy shit, I get to live again. I am on fire. People that have not found their purpose will demonize you for that. Literally, energy is contagious. Run, don't walk in the opposite direction. Do not expose yourself to those people. Do not interface with that energy. One of the things that makes you a maverick, one of the things that makes you 1% of the 1% and able to lead the masses, able to lead and liberate the sick society that we're here to liberate through channeling our medicine, is you cannot be entrenched in this society. Unhook from the matrix. You're going to have a really small inner circle Because if you're meant to be inventing shit, you cannot be in the muck with everybody else. You got to transcend. And that's the standard and that's the frequency. And that's what's elite about New Earth Elite. We rise above, right? So the quadrants matter because they matter. They are the four pillars. Think about a chair with four legs. It is stable. And when you are firing on all cylinders in these quadrants, and they're not, it's about harmony. Your freedom, like free is the final one. It's the one on top, right? So the quadrants can be arranged in a chair. The quadrants matter because it is a logical landscape for your brain to get on board with to create shit that's not logical. We've got to give our brain a pathway to get on board with shit that's not logical, or else you will combust. You can short circuit. Your nervous system might go out of whack. This is why I go deep into nervous system reset alchemy, self alchemy in our work together in this ecosystem, this training ground, if you will. This it's a modern mystery school. That's basically what it is, with a very deep masculine element. Most of my clients are extremely successful men founders. Not everybody, it's most of you. It's a fleet of souls. Okay. Free is like the final, it can be arranged, the quadrants can be arranged four legs to a chair. Or it can be in a pyramid, like a pyramid of sound. I talked about this in one of my other episodes in this series. My first career, I was an orchestral musician. I played French horn professionally in orchestras for 10 years. Okay, I walked away from my dream job to follow my soul's call, my quote unquote dream job. It was my dream job in music. And once I won it, I was like, oh, wait, this isn't my dream. Even though I loved it and it made me happy, it was still, I mean, talk about free. I was living the caged life of like, these are the paths available to you. You wouldn't believe the politics and the dogma and the straight up abusive teaching in the classical music space. I mean, you would, if you have any pulse on what it takes to make it and what is required of you in that space. They've done research on the most high stress jobs. The first one is air traffic controller. So it's the people that, you know, do the routes for planes. And then the next one is classical musician because you literally are walking out on stages in front of thousands of people, and perfection is the bare minimum standard. So I could go all into that. However, freedom, when we talk about it being in a pyramid, the bottom of the pyramid, the foundation is bigger, is health. Then we have wealth, then we have happiness, and then freedom on the top. It's like a small little prism. And think about it in relation to the chakras, which are the energy centers in the central column of your body, which is something you learn about in mentorship with me. You learn about your energy centers and the ones that are power centers for you, how to leverage it, what it means for your nervous system, what is the astrological lens of it, what does it mean for your business, how you make decisions, how you make money, how you're in relationship. We do it a lot through human design, which is another system. However, this freedom is really at the top, and it's really just the third eye and the crown, and you're being open to the sky. And think about free and the air elemental is connected to father sky. It's connected to the cosmos. It really is. If you think about your body as like a bridge between earth and other realms, the stars, the universe, creator, God source, whatever you want to call it, the force, whatever the divine unseen presence is that is bigger than all of us, that supports all of us, and that is running the 99% of reality that we can't see with our eyes. Um, your body is a bridge, like your feet, it's like your feet and root chakra and sacral are health and wealth. And then solar plexus is power. You get to your heart, and that's when really we go into happiness. Your heart is where your happiness center starts. Happy throat is all about truth. If you're not living truth, you literally can't be happy. It's physically impossible. You could lie to yourself and tell yourself you're happy, but then you go back down to the bottom rung of health because you're going to get a disease because you're blocking life force. And then so here today, what I'm teaching on is freedom, which is connected to the third eye, which is the seat of the soul, your intuition, really, and then your crown chakra, which is where you get ideas, divine downloads. It's think about even the location of everything. It is your mind, it is your brain. It is your mind and your brain. And it's at the top of your body. And when we think about it I'm just offering a bunch of different lenses for how you can really understand this ecosystem and how it works and how it relates to air and your personal freedom. Like, my goal with this podcast is to not only just educate people on this movement and what we're doing here, and why it's literally the key to a better world. You are not here to follow, you're here to lead. If you're listening to this podcast, you are here to lead. And I'm here to activate you into a higher level of leadership. Every time you settle, you suffer. You're not here to settle. No one is. Rare is the soul, though, that doesn't settle. So we're at the with Maslow's hierarchy of needs, it's like the base layer. It's like today we're talking about this high frequency, like self-actualization. If someone is in like their root chakra is being like severely fractured on a daily basis where they just feel unsafe. They don't know where they're going to sleep, they don't know where they're going to eat, like all of these things. Um you're not going to be thinking about what's my sole purpose, right? And this is what part of what our job here on this planet is, to get the basic day to day of heaven on earth frequencies back on our planet so that everyone is nourished, everyone is dripping in wealth and overflow, because what gets to come online? Your self-actualization, your artistry, your contribution, right? But the hierarchy of needs, the Maslow is just another way to think about it, but it's like health is bottom, then wealth, then happiness, then freedom, right? So that's just some context for how this all lands. And what does freedom mean? Freedom is about liberation. Freedom is about liberation and breaking free from the caged life, breaking free from the shackles. And when I'm saying this, I'm not speaking to you as a victim. I'm not speaking to you as like, "Oh, this happened to me and I grew up in this place and blah blah blah." No, I'm talking about literally everything in your life is a result of your inner world in total responsibility. Fault and responsibility are different things. And when we're looking at things from a soul perspective, a lot of things that most people talk about just become irrelevant. Like, when you understand that everything in your life, your soul called in for your growth, Like you literally don't, it's impossible to have victim consciousness. Okay, so this is not about woe is me, I've got to free myself from things that happened to me. It's like, no, every single day you've got to wake up and be free. Wake up and choose to be more free. How can you liberate yourself even more from the limitations of your human brain, from the limitations of what society says, what other people say, from limitations of your bloodline? The limit does not exist. You are here to be a perpetual chronic cycle breaker and do it with a motherfucking smile. Okay. For real. For real. Fun and joy is the highest frequency on this planet, man. And there is this like shame thing happening right now where it's like, well, how can you be so happy when there are people dying and there's war and there's this and there's that? And it's like, yo, how dare I not be happy? How dare I allow myself to dishonor people that actually cannot access this frequency right now because of where their human bodies are. Do you see even that? It's a complete paradigm shift. This is a red pill, blue pill situation. Now, a lot of people, if you haven't seen The Matrix, by the way, please watch it. It's like required education. It's required reading, watching, viewing for New Earth. Avatar, by the way, as well. Star Wars, we all subconsciously signed off on all of those things because that's what we're doing on Earth the next couple decades. Spoiler alert. That's why New Earth Elite is like, it's the Jedis. New Earth Elite is the Jedis. We are training. Yes, you've got to learn how to leverage the Force. Do or do not, there is no try. Right? Right? Okay. I lost my train of thought because I started channeling something. You're liberating yourself every single day from limits of the 3D realm, right? And so freedom, it comes back to this idea of technique determines artistry. If you haven't mastered the fundamentals, then you're not going to be able to make art. You're not going to be able to enter flow state because you didn't have the fundamentals to be able to do literally whatever you want. Freedom is you want to be able to do whatever, whenever, with whoever, because you want to. Because just because you want to and because you desire to. And it's the highest expression of your soul, right? One thing you've got to break free from is this idea that you've got to justify what you want. You want it because you want it. End of story. You don't need to justify it. You don't need to say a reason. Oh, I just want to. Boom, that's it. That in itself is a fucking interruption to what most people do live. Like one of the things that we go deep in again and again and again in mentorship together, if you become my client, is, or if you are already my client, is what happens when you decide to be this free. People that don't allow themselves to be free have a lot of reactions, especially in family, in society. This is why you've got to be surrounding yourself with other mavericks who are operating at this high performance frequency. Because anything else will pull you down. It will pull you back into the matrix that tells you, you know, the opposite of freedom. What's the opposite of freedom is limitation, being caged. And if you haven't built the foundations, the skill sets, the health, the wealth, the access to your happiness and your soul's desire, there it's impossible for you to be free. You can't be free if you're not healthy. You can't be free if you don't have money, overflow of money. Because it's like, okay, do you ever want to be limited by money? No, you want to be able to say yes to whatever your soul wants to do. It's like, yeah, I want to fly to this place and go on this boat and do this thing. Have you built the structures for that freedom to be possible in the moment that you have that desire? If not, you got to go work on that quadrant, right? So freedom is just you want to be able to do whatever you want, whenever you want, with whoever you want, as many times as you want. It's about opportunity. It is it's this idea of abundance. However, it's like, what's the deepest expression of you? What is the deepest expression of you? And giving yourself the freedom to do that. In a world that tells you you're not free, I literally, so I grew up in America. It's interesting because when I travel, people do not think I'm American. And there's a big part of me, I'm gonna be honest, that I'm like very proud of that. I'm like, yes, I know I'm not a typical American. Um, what I really there's this thing about like freedom and America, like this idea of being free in America, and it's like we do have a lot more freedom than a lot of countries around the world, and I'm very, very grateful for that. And at the same time, it's like fake freedom. It's like there's so much, there's so much that literally the systems are they're going to self-destruct. Your job is just to permanently unplug and just you cannot be free if you're gripping to the thing that cages you, that you let cage you, that you choose to cage you. Why? Because it's comfortable, because everybody else does it. But guess what? You're gonna die one day, and you're not gonna be happy that you chose that. You're gonna have insane regret. Take my word for it. I had an NDE, and I know exactly what it's like to have your life review and have insane regret. So don't do that. Be free. It takes courage and it takes nervous system work because your body will feel unsafe sticking out and being free in a world of people who that choose not to be free and people that they don't want you to be free because it highlights how they're not free, right? These are the masses, right? So you are here to steward your medicine, steward your vision, be the visionary, be the maverick, be the founder, be the pioneer, be the inventor, which means you're doing things differently. You've got to give yourself that freedom. Okay, so there's this idea, something that I wrote down in preparation for this episode was just like, it's just consistent interruption of the caged life. Because here's the thing, what used to be freedom to you will become boredom. What used to be freedom will become boredom. Okay. Growth is what creates happiness. And then you're never going to be bored and you're always going to be feel free because it, growth is the happiness that holds up lasting freedom. Because in the happy episode, which is happy and the heart elemental, I talked about and go if you haven't listened to the other episodes, definitely go listen to them because they're building on one another. However, if you listen to this one first, there's a reason. Um, One of the keys to happiness is challenge and growth. If you're not challenged, you won't be happy because we're supposed to be growing. If you're not growing, you're dying. If you're not expanding into your next level, you're automatically contracting into death. You're either expanding into life or you're contracting into death. When you live a caged life, you're contracting into death every single day. When you wake up and you choose to be free, like something you can ask yourself every single morning is how can I be more free? How can I be more free? And then do it, right? There's so many elements. Freedom for me 3 years ago is are things that bore me now because it's not pushing me. It's not shattering a limit. I already shattered that limit, you know? It's like you can be grateful, and the way that you're grateful is like you keep going. You know what I mean? There's a huge difference between freedom to and freedom from that I want to highlight and frame for you. Because, and this is something that Dr. Benjamin Hardy talks about a lot. If you've ever read the book 10x is easier than 2x, I highly recommend it. I reread it like probably once a month because it just rewires my brain and there's always something. It's like you've got to be willing to just shatter any thought patterns or previous ways of being, previous ways of thinking that are blocking your freedom. And so it's about freedom from is when you're like, I've got to escape my current reality. So it's like, I need freedom from the matrix. I need freedom from my job. I need freedom from this. It's like when you are running away from something or you're like resisting something, the thing that you are resisting is still controlling you. You think it's not because you're like, I'm getting free from this. And it's like, if you got to get free from it, then it's still controlling you. Freedom inside New Earth Elite for a better world and birthing New Earth, heaven on earth, in the expansion of consciousness and the evolution of humanity is freedom to stop focusing on running away from pain and run toward pleasure. Your whole fucking life will change when you stop running away from pain and run toward pleasure. And I'm not talking about quick hit, instant gratification, that dopamine, that scroll, that one night stand. No, I'm talking about run toward what lights your soul on fucking fire and never stop. Like, if you want the life hack, that's it. Run toward what you want, never stop with abandon. And a silly smile on your face that confuses people. um, freedom too. So something for me is like I have one of my dreams is the freedom to fly my parents private to Europe. I want to fly my parents on a jet to Europe because I mean, I want to give them that luxury. And also like there's certain things in my parents' lifestyle that, you know, flying economy is just not good. I would argue flying economy is not good for anyone. It's not the energy, the frequency. It's like, no. It's just no. I mean, if you are at a stage in life where that's where you're at, everybody's at that stage at a certain point. However, if you're going to transcend, like you've got to be on the path of like, yeah, I'm moving toward business first. It's like the energy you expose yourself to and just every single part of your life has got to upgrade, 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 right? So freedom too. I'm not running away from anything. I'm running toward the fact that like I literally am creating the freedom to fly my parents first class to Europe. They've never been to Europe. I love Europe. And yeah, the freedom to do that. So do you feel the difference? If you're doing freedom from, you're still not free. You're still being controlled by the thing you're running away from. Freedom to is I'm running toward my desire. I'm going toward my desire. And my heart is on fire and I'm so happy and I'm delighted and it's hard and it's challenging, but I wouldn't trade it for the world. Right? This is the ultimate expression and where you can self-actualize is like achieving your highest potential in this lifetime. We are not waiting till next lifetime. We are self-actualizing in this lifetime. And so let's talk about how this relates to the air elemental, right? The air elemental is, it's wind, it's air. And as I'm recording this, I'm looking out on a beautiful forest, and there's these huge, tall trees with big oak trunks, and then they got the branches and they're flowing in the breeze and their leaves are shimmering and they're dynamic. Air is dynamic, it's the maverick. It is movement, it is change. Air is all about change. And it's that this like movement energy, movement. Air is not stagnant, it's your breath, right? The two things we do that we don't think about, our heart beats and we breathe, right? We cannot survive without life force. So it is created from the structure though, like wind cannot flow. Like you can't be dynamic and I think about agile, like being agile and being quick on your feet. I think about like a point guard in basketball where they're just like, ooh, I'm dribbling through all of these things, or like dancing, or just anything where there's movement is related to air. And the thing is, you cannot be flexible. Air is extremely flexible. You cannot be flexible if there's not structure to support it. So this is tied to Mercury. Air is tied to the mind space. It's extremely tied to your nervous system because it's tied to the lungs, which is your access point to just life, but also your ability to heal yourself and reset your own nervous system. Like the air elemental is obviously very linked to breath work, which is the holotropic journeys I facilitate inside New Earth Elite. Like in the rest of the series, I was talking about how each elemental and each quadrant, it was more related to the fixed of each one because we wanted to be consistent, right? The fixed expression of that element. So fixed air is Aquarius, and we are stewarding the transition to the age of Aquarius. We will not see age of Aquarius in our lifetimes. Our children and our grandchildren will. The golden children will. So, if you want to learn about the golden children, I have an episode called I think it's called Gaia Pregnancy, Ancient Fertility, and Golden Children Incarnation. It's important. It's very important whether you have kids, whether you want to have kids or not. It's very important. Um, Pluto in Aquarius is the next 20 years where our ultimate power is accessed through fixed air, which means ruling the mind space. It's like I have an ironclad mindset and nobody can mess with my mindset except me when I decide to shatter it into the next level. Okay. Aquarius is detached lens. It is a neutral lens. It's seeing everything as data. It's not emotional. It's like, okay, this is a science experiment. Show me the data. Okay, we move forward based on this. It's not personal, right? It's very detached. It's all about humanity though. It's about the collective. And it's Aquarius is like, why would I make it about me? It's about the collective. Now, we never have a strong collective if we don't have strong individuals that make up the collective, right? So it's not about, oh, it's only about everybody else. That's old paradigm where you extract your own life force. Talked about that in specifically in quadrant 2 in wealth and water elemental. So air elemental, it's rulership of the mind, it's rulership of your body and your life force and your breath. And here's the thing, you're never free without self alchemy. You're never free without self alchemy. That's when you realize you are your own healer. This is what makes the work we do together inside New Earth Elite so potent. I am really good at what I do. I hold amazing space. I'm an expert in many facets, and there's no other space like this. However, I'm not creating the transformation for you. I am exposing you to your own greatness to for you to grab your transformation, right? In a breathwork journey, I'm not breathing for you. I'm holding the space. I'm doing shamanic energy work. I'm channeling messages and all of this for you and your soul. Something so amazing happened. I did had an in-person immersion with a client, and this huge bear spirit came in during the journey, and it was like so powerful for them, and there was a really deep meaning behind it. But it's like I wasn't breathing for them. They were breathing the whole time, and there was a ton of resistance, and their whole body started shaking, and their hands started cramping up, and it was like, wow, you've got to keep breathing. You are your own healer. There is no freedom without self-alchemy. No freedom. You are never free without self-alchemy. Something I love about the air element is that you can't see it, but you can feel it. You can't see it, but you can feel it. I'm just looking at these trees and I'm like, wow. It's an amazing thing. I was riding my bike this morning. I've gotten back into riding my bike. When I'm traveling, I don't have access to a bike a lot. And I mean, I could prioritize that more. However, I usually just prioritize finding a great gym to lift weights at. Um, I've been riding and cycling hard in the mornings before it gets hot, and there's like no feeling like riding your bike really, really fast with your hair down and letting the wind blow in your face. And it's like, I can't see the wind. I can feel it though. And it's just like the unseen realm. It's like God source. It's like creator, the universe. It's like you can't see it, but you can feel it. And that's part of the air elemental too. Do you trust the unseen? Do you trust the unknown? Do you trust the unseen more than the seen? The seen will fucking lie to you. It's all an illusion. So, with air elemental, it really is all three expressions of air in the zodiac because it's such a dynamic, moving energy, right? With health and wealth and the happiness, it's like health is very like earth. It's like it's the most stable, it's the most sturdy. And then wealth is like it's a little bit more dynamic because it's the water, it's the flow. However, it's like real wealth is like extremely stable, right? It is like this is compounding. There's no type of like frantic energy. It's extremely grounded and quantum, right? And it's moving, however, it's like wide. And notice they get a little bit more narrow as we go up. The heart, the fire is like, wow, that's more movement, right? Flames, the flames are moving. The flames are moving, right? So I would say even with the heart, it's like you can throw in more Sagittarius, you can throw in more Aries along with the Leo. We do want to focus still on fixed of every one, including air, which is Pluto and Aquarius mostly. Not Pluto, but that's highlighted for 20 years. Aquarius. Gemini. Gemini specifically because it rules the lungs and it's ruled by Mercury. Okay. The other air element is, or in the zodiac is Libra, and that's about love and harmony. And so notice how all of these air signs and frequencies in the zodiac are very important themes for the final phase of self-actualization, right? Because earth element is like, oh, Mother Earth, our health, our food, it's like the basics, right? And then we get up to the air element and it really is. It's like, oh wow, like harmony, love, bliss, nervous system. Gemini is the mind, Gemini's curiosity, Gemini's play. There's also Uranus in Gemini for the next 7 years. Shock, upheaval, change, revolution in the sign of Gemini, which rules the lungs, which rules the nervous system, which rules your thoughts. You've got to take command of your mind space if you ever want to be free. Can I get a hell ye? And I even feel more air. I'm recording this on the day of the full moon, and Jupiter's entering Leo, and Mercury is stationing retrograde. And I just feel so good in my energy. I feel so good in my body. I've been going really deep the past month of like my own, like when I talk about the quadrants, really focusing on the root chakra, on the health quadrant the past month. I would say that and my heart. Um, and I'm just having a ball recording this episode. So that joy frequency, it's this very high frequency. And even like there's a chakra there, your central column goes above your head up into the sky. Like accessing that, it's like your ability to channel, your ability to receive messages, and then you've got to carry out the messages, right? If you get a message, you got to carry it out and then you get to be free faster on this plane, right? So this feels complete. I loved this series. I hope it served you. I hope you got a deep window into really what this ecosystem is, how it is your home and your training ground for everything for New Earth, for your soul mission, for um birthing a better world. And yeah, it's been an honor to share it and channel it with you, for you, for me, for all of us. Definitely reach out. Let me know what stuck out the most. Let me know what quadrant you feel like you need to be focusing on. Like I just love hearing from you. And like I said in the beginning, I'm enrolling one-on-one clients. So if you want to work with me in one-on-one Lux mentorship, if you want to come meet me in France in summer 2026, the link to apply is in the show notes for both of those opportunities. Also, if you are my one-on-one client, we can meet anywhere in the world. Um, we can meet on any sacred land you're called to. Like the limit does not exist. Talk about freedom. You can literally fill out the application today and say, Adrian, I'm interested in working with you. I feel really called to Ireland. I feel really called to Mount Shasta. I feel really called to, oh, I'm trying to, a bunch of stuff. Milan. I feel really called to Egypt. I feel really called to Greece. Like anywhere that you feel called, let me know. I feel like there's very few things that you could say that would not be possible. Antarctica, I'm thinking about. I'm like, how would we do that? It's not, the thing is, my first question isn't, is it possible? It's how. And that right there is the frequency of freedom. So, yes, if you are interested, go to the link in the show notes, apply. I'm so excited to be welcoming powerful, amazing souls, turning your voltage all the way up in these quadrants in serving your mission. And yeah, this has been this episode in this series. I love you, love ya. Go out there, be the change, be the light, be the real you, make a stranger smile, share the air elemental in its highest potency to self-actualize, and I will see you next time on A Better World with Adrian.